See. Okay, so today's Thursday. I'm in clinic, and today's a big milestone for us here at CIT Clinics. Today's our first official day of performing what are called stellate ganglion blocks. It's a procedure that involves injecting some lidocaine into a nerve bundle in the neck that runs down both sides of the neck, and it's been shown to be really effective for chronic pain. And so, the new frontier, I think that we're pushing here is it probably is very effective for PTSD as well. So today's a big milestone for us in that we have 10 people here receiving the treatment, and yeah, super exciting. So today's edition of Thankfulness Thursday is gratitude for progress. Like, I've been sitting here in amazement looking at, just watching my partner Adam, Dr. Tibble, you know, being trained and coached on using ultrasound to guide needles, into the stellate ganglia in the neck at C4 and C6, and injecting just the right amount of lidocaine. And it's just one of these things that you look at and you're like, wow, if you actually take a step back and consider what's going on, it's amazing. And then also, keeping in, like, putting into context that not that long ago, we humans, humanity, mm, we weren't necessarily doing that hot compared to, what we're doing now. Not that we're perfect now. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we need to improve and focus on in our society and science and medicine and all of that. But, we were using leeches, and we were burning people at the stake for witchcraft and all kinds of stuff, and it wasn't really that long ago, and so we sort of take, I think, a lot of that for granted. So today's edition is in service of just appreciation for what I would just call progress, as it relates to life expectancy, just generally speaking, our healthcare, the prosperity and peace that we've enjoyed. And yeah, there's all kinds of things going on planet Earth that aren't peaceful, and there's a lot of people struggling with lack of prosperity. But I think it's safe to say for the most part, most of us on this call, relatively speaking, are enjoying a lot of the freedom and safety, and certainly a sense of self-determination. So anyway, that's my pitch for just taking a few minutes today to drop into appreciating the fact that our lifestyle and the way that we live right now, compared to the Roman emperors and the kings and queens of yesteryear, like, we are so far beyond what those guys were experiencing, despite all of their wealth and power and so on. And I think it's a good idea to just take a moment to practice that. So let's start by closing our eyes. And start by noticing that whatever you're sitting on, whatever chair or couch or seat, just appreciating the support, combination of softness yet firmness to keep you upright and keep you sitting. May that chair or whatever you're sitting on serve as a kind of metaphor for how life is supportive. It's solid yet so malleable and flexible. So just sort of piggybacking on, I think, what I've been experiencing this morning in terms of healthcare. You know, I know many of us been struggling with healthcare, and I certainly have my bones to pick with administration, both as a patient, but now also being on the provider side of things, it is absolutely an imperfect system. And right now, I just want to focus on what's right about it and just appreciating that for the most part, something happens and we need to call 911. The whole system, a whole infrastructure that's ready with mostly skilled people, willing and able-bodied people to come care for us and drop us into a system that is infused with all kinds of amazing technology and knowledge about biochemistry and access to certain drugs and medicines, and it's quite astounding. And yes, it doesn't always work. No, it's not perfect. Right now, just inviting us to drop into what's right about it, what serves us. I get to see this here in clinic with my colleagues and the people I work with. I just get to see the good intentions, the skillfulness, the use of technology and smart science to just really help humans in ways that were inconceivable 50 years ago or 100 years ago. Also appreciating progress in other parts of our lives. I know we can go onto YouTube or open the news and we can read all about conflicts and strife and terrible things happening on planet Earth. But for the most part, right here, for us, we're lucky. We have a relative sense of peace, freedom, self-determination. We can, for the most part, choose where we want to spend our day and who we want to spend it with, express ourselves. And that unfortunately is not the case in many parts of the planet. And then also appreciating not just our physical safety, but even things like the safety of the food and the water that we drink. For the most part, it's clean. It's regulated in such a way that we're not buying food that's old and rotten and getting sick for the most part. It's all part of this rest we're the beneficiaries of. And also appreciating the resources, the fact that we can get on this call on a daily basis using whatever Wi-Fi is available to us in different parts, buildings, different places that we end up at. And we get to do this. Works. I remember in college, starting to print out my resume on a laser printer from someone's borrowed word processor. So it really wasn't even that long ago. Some of those things felt pretty magical. Now it's just normal. I'm taking a deep breath in through the nose, long, slow exhale, just breathing into this space, breathing into this gratitude for all the progress, all the things that we have in our life that weren't there not that long ago. And hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhale through the nose, through the mouth. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. Back to the session. So yeah, hope that one landed. It's neat to feel like I have this front row seat on some pretty cool modern science, medicine, merging with really intentioned, skillful humans, and feeling pretty privileged and grateful. So uh, hope that's rubbing off, and hope to see you tomorrow for another session. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.